2025 Hyundai i30 Sedan Hybrid Elite with Hyundai is the latest brand to bring fuel-sipping tech to the Australian new car market. Should you consider the i30 Sedan Hybrid over a comparable Toyota Corolla? Likes? Excellent. Real-world fuel. Economy. Nicely appointed and spacious interior. Well-sorted ride comforters likes. 3-star ANCAP safety rating. More expensive to service than key rival. Infuriating speed sign recognition system. 2025 Hyundai i30 Sedan Hybrid Elite, a classic case of giving the consumer what they want. Hyundai has introduced hybrid powertrains to its popular range of i30 sedans. Australians are buying hybrids in unprecedented numbers. And while Toyota has long enjoyed the game almost exclusively to itself, it's facing stiff competition from a growing number of brands looking to cash in on the fuel-sipping trend, despite being available in the 7th generation in overseas markets since 2020, where the i30 Sedan is known as the Elantra USA or Avanti South Korea. Australia only received the fuel-saving technology following a late 2023 facelift, but Hyundai is staggering its rollout of hybrid i30 Sedan variants. The entry-level model appeared first in early 2024, followed by the mid-spec i30 Sedan Hybrid Elite 6 months later. The range-topping i30 Sedan Hybrid Premium is no longer planned for local dealerships. That leaves the car we have on test here, the mid-spec Elite, as the flagship in the hybrid i30 Sedan range for now. So is it any good? Let's find out. How much is a Hyundai i30 Sedan? There are multiple spec grades of the Hyundai i30 Sedan available, though only the entry-level, eponymous i30 Sedan Hybrid and mid-grade Elite get the fuel-sipping petrol-electric hybrid powertrain. Hyundai previously planned to bring in a top-tier i30 Sedan Premium Hybrid, though the specification is no longer coming out. Hyundai offers some sharp drive-away pricing deals on both available models. The entry-level i30 Sedan Hybrid starts from $30,000 for $1,990 drive away, some for $1,000 more than the comparable petrol-only model. The car we have here is the mid-spec i30 Sedan Hybrid Elite, and it gets underway from $39,000 for $190. Drive away, also a $4,000 in cost, over regular petrol models, as is the Hyundai way. There are no options to be had other than a selection of $6,595 paint colors. Only Atlas White is a no-cost option. Standard equipment highlights are you. In the leather seat trim, 16-inch alloy wheels, a 10-point to 5-inch infotainment touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as satellite navigation, DAB digital radio, dual-zone climate control, LED headlights and daytime running lights, a 10-point to 5-inch digital instrument, cluster, and heated wing mirrors. There's also a comprehensive suite of Hyundai's advanced driver assist and safety systems detailed later in this review. It's a decent amount of equipment. A blend of technology and convenience that remains largely on par with the small car segment for the money spent. The most obvious rival to the i30 Sedan Hybrid is the venerable Toyota Corolla's X-Hybrid Sedan, starting from $30,000 for $1,920 before our road costs. That translates to around $39,000 drive away. But the Corolla in this spec misses out on leather seats. Its infotainment screen is much smaller at 7.0 inches. Hyundai and Toyota have the small car class under $45,000 to themselves when it comes to hybrid. Technology, the only other option. In the small sedan class, albeit there's one sliding into the over $45,000 category, is the Honda Civic Hybrid that gets underway at $49,990 drive away. It brings a healthier list of standard equipment straying into the premium end of the segment. How big is a Hyundai i30 Sedan? Typically, when we think of the Hyundai i30, we think of a small car. And while that remains true, its segment does belie its size, stopping the tape measure at 1,710 millimeters long, 1,825 millimeters wide, 1,420 millimeters tall, and sitting on a wheelbase of 2,720 millimeters. The i30 Sedan is significantly longer than its main competitor. The Corolla Sedan, some 80 millimeters shorter in length, 45 millimeters narrower, yet 15 millimeters taller. That extra size pays off inside, where the i30 Sedan is spacious and comfortable, and in the mid-spectrum level is nicely fitted out. The perforated leather seats look good and feel supportive and comfortable, while the leather-wrapped steering wheel and chunky gear selector, no dinky and fiddly rotary dial to be seen here, offer a tactility that feels reassuring. Leather-appointed door trims and armrests lift the feeling of quality inside. Set off nicely by an array of silver accents, the usual gamut of storage options are scattered throughout. Cup holders in the center console with an adjustable base, door pockets with bottle holders, a small central storage bin, glove box, and a wireless smartphone charging tray forward of the gear lever. Additional charging options include a pair of USB outlets up front, one Type-A and one Type-C, and a 12-volt plug. Second row comfort is good, with decent foot, knee, and leg room behind my own 173 centimeters driving position. While headroom is acceptable, but amenities include a fold-down armrest with cup holders, door pockets with bottle holders, USB Type-C outlets, and air vents, although no separate climate controls. The outboard seats are fitted with ISOFIX. Child seat mounts. Well, all three seat backs are equipped with top tether anchors. Boot space is on par for the category, Hyundai claiming for 174 liters with the second row in use. The back seats fold away in 60-40 split fashion, although Hyundai does not quote capacity with the second row stowed away. A space-saver spare wheel lives under the boot floor. Does the Hyundai i30 Sedan have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto? A 10.5 to 5-inch touchscreen hosts the i30's infotainment system, which is pretty nicely specified, as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wired only. This Elite spec also scores in-built satellite navigation with live traffic updates, Bluetooth streaming, and DAB plus digital radio as well as AM, FM. Hyundai's native interface is easy to use with this simple menu structure. Being a hybrid, there is a specific screen that shows a variety of hybrid-specific data, such as the flow of energy and how much fuel the i30 is using. We had no issues with connecting Apple CarPlay, with the system quick to pair and a stable connection. Throughout our time with the i30 Sedan, an array of physical shortcut buttons located under the screen summon key features of the infotainment system, such as sat-nav, radio and audio controls supported by a nicely knurled volume dial. It's pleasing to see Hyundai sticking with buttons and dials for now. That carries through to the dual-zone climate control, where large dials for temperature adjustment take center stage along with physical buttons for fan, speed, and airflow. Direction at the 10.5 to 5-inch digital instrument cluster changes appearance according to the drive mode selected, Echo, Normal, and Sport, but fundamentally features digital iterations of traditional dials. It also features a central screen that displays a variety of data, such as a simple digital speed readout to driving data and fuel economy. This mid-spec Elite variant brings Hyundai's Bluelink connected service, which connects owners to the car via a smartphone app. This facilitates features like the ability to navigation instructions remotely, activate climate controls, and check on the i30's vehicle status. Additional Bluelink features are live traffic and weather updates. The Hyundai i30 Sedan a safe car? The Hyundai i30 Sedan, including hybrid models, was a 3-star ANCAP safety rating awarded, and 20 for that. It achieved scores of 71% for adult occupant protection, 81% for child occupant, 62% vulnerable road user, while its safety assist systems achieved a 56% score. The i30 Sedan lost points across a variety of criteria, including crash testing, where marks were deducted for marginal protection of the driver in the frontal offset and side impact tests, as well as for rear passengers in the full-width frontal crash test. ANCAP also deducted points for the i30's autonomous emergency braking AEB system, which it said offered only poor performance in preventing collision in certain scenarios, such as head-on and turning across traffic. Other factors counting against a better score include the lack of driver attention monitoring since added and a front center airbag. The latter also seeing marks deducted from a ANCAP side impact crash test. What safety technology does the Hyundai i30 Sedan have? Hyundai updated the i30 Sedan Safety Technology Suite with this 2024 facelift, beefing up AEB to include motorcycle detection and adding the previously missing driver attention. Alert.this mid-spec Elite variant also scores technologies not available in the base model, such as blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert. Additional technologies fitted as standard include adaptive cruise control with stop and go, functionality, front and rear parking sensors, tire pressure monitoring, lane keeping and lane following assist, safe exit warning, and speed sign recognition. 6 airbags cover both rows of occupants. But the front center airbag remains a glaring omission from the i30 Sedan Hybrid lineup. We had little issue with any of the technologies, which remain nicely calibrated and with no overly eager interventions. And not always the case with some of today's new cars, but the speed sign recognition system remains a bugbear. Its predilection for erroneously plucking exit ramp limits or school zones out of school zone hours, and then issuing a symphony of annoying beeps that grate like fingernails on a blackboard. It can be switched off easily and quickly via the touch screen, but defaults to on every time the car is started. Still, Hyundai isn't alone in this. With this particular technology across almost every new car brand still lacking the sophistication that would make it truly helpful rather than merely an annoying feature that is switched off at the first opportunity. That how much does the Hyundai i30 Sedan cost to service? The i30 Sedan range is covered by Hyundai's 5-year unlimited kilometer warranty along with 12 months roadside assistance, rolled over every 12 months with every scheduled service at a Hyundai dealership servicing. Intervals are every 12 months or 15,000 kilometers and can be prepaid at the time of vehicle purchase. A 3-year, 45,000 kilometers plan asks for $1,140. For years and 60,000 kilometers is priced at $1,860, while 5 years and 75,000 kilometers will cost $1,170, an average of $434 over the 5-year plan. For context, a Toyota Corolla Hybrid servicing costs $1,250. For the first 5 years or 75,000 kilometers, an average of $250 per annum does the Hyundai i30 Sedan fuel efficient. Hyundai claims the i30 Sedan Hybrid will use a frugal 3.9 liters per 100 kilometers on the combined cycle, a mix of urban, interurban, and highway driving. Our week with the thrifty fuel sipper returned and indicated for 0.30, 100 kilometers, achieved over a variety of conditions including traffic, suburban running, and long stretches on the motorway. We did see as low as 3.90, 100 kilometers after several drives spent exclusively in peak hour traffic. Hyundai claims to 0.8L, 100 kilometers under these conditions, but that crept up once we hit the freeways. It's worth noting that hybrids work opposite to the regular petrol or diesel cars, doing their best work in traffic where the hybrid system has more opportunity to regenerate energy as well as providing motivation purely in EV mode, out on the motorway. The petrol engine does more of the work, hence the higher fuel consumption at highway speeds than around town at lower speeds. The i30 Sedan Hybrid's fuel tank measures 40 liters and will happily take 91-octane regular unleaded petrol. Based on our real-world testing, you could expect a driving range of 976 kilometers between refills. What is the Hyundai i30 Sedan like to drive? A 1.6-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder petrol engine making 77 kilowatts and 147 newton-meters lives under the bonnet of the i30 Sedan Hybrid. It's augmented by a 30 kilowatts, 170 newton-meters electric motor mounted at the front and powering the front wheels. Total claimed outputs come in at 100 for kilowatts and 265 newton-meters. A 6-speed dual-clutch transmission sends drive exclusively to the front wheels, moving away from standstill wheel. Unless you absolutely mash the accelerator to the floor. Be done in pure electric. And it will continue to drive on electrons only in normal driving conditions until you hit anywhere between 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. Depending on how judicious you are with the throttle and how much charge is left in the small 1.3 to kilowatt hours battery performance is, for the most part, acceptable, but certainly not perky. The i30 blending in with traffic nicely without raising too much of a sweat at higher speeds or when more is asked of the throttle. The 1.6-liter unit will fire up and add a little zing to the petrol hybrid equation. The transition from EV to petrol is seamless and very refined, to the point you're sometimes left wondering if the engine has actually fired up. Such is the quietude of the process. Out on the highway, at speeds of 100 to 110 kilometers per hour, the i30 will almost certainly rely on the petrol engine to provide the shove. Although it does slip back into rest mode, letting the electric motor take over on downhill stretches and on some particularly flat piece. Best of road. It's short-lived, however, the merest hint of an incline seeing the 1.6-liter engine whispering into life again, with juice left in the battery. Acceleration at highway speeds feels perky if not thrilling, but once the battery is depleted, the 1.6-liter engine will be going it alone, and that means performance feels a little sluggish when trying to effect, say, an overtake. Ride comfort is excellent, with the multi-link setup at the rear benefiting from Hyundai's local suspension. Tune. Bumps and lumps are absorbed nicely, leading to a compliant and comfortable demeanor on the road. While navigating speed humps and larger obstacles highlights the good work done by Hyundai Australia's CHASSIS engineers. The 6-speed dual clutch. Auto can be a touch hesitant at takeoff and in the switch from forward to reverse and vice versa. It's not a deal breaker, but worth noting. And the benefits of a 6-speed box against the more commonly used continuously variable. Transmission. CVT found in most hybrid cars are tangible. Whereas cars fitted with a CVT can drone and thrash under heavier loads, the DCT in the Hyundai ensures acceleration is smooth and not exactly quiet, but certainly less noisy than with a CVT. It makes for an altogether more pleasant driving experience. Well, hybrids generally don't enjoy the benefits of energy regeneration via braking or coasting to the same degree as full battery electric vehicles. The i30 does a decent job of harvesting that energy. Brake pedal feel remains good, and there is no telltale clunk between the regenerative system and the friction brakes, and the engine plays its part too in feeding energy back into the battery, ensuring it always has some poke in the system to provide EV-only driving when the right conditions are met. We rarely saw the battery meter drop below half, the system working away in traffic commendably, while highway driving on petrol power alone soon sees the needle climb to full. It all adds up to a car that, while not exactly thrilling, is pleasant to drive whether in traffic, round the suburbs, or out on the motorway. Should I buy a Hyundai i30 Sedan? The number one reason to buy a hybrid over a regular combustion engine car is to reduce fuel consumption. And by this measure, the 2025 Hyundai i30 Sedan Hybrid Elite works, and works well. Its miserly fuel consumption allied with a pleasant demeanor behind the wheel answers a lot of questions buyers are asking of hybrids in this day and age. Buyers should also consider the i30's less than stellar safety score, but for those who are after a small fuel-efficient sedan with a comfortable interior that is spacious and, in this elite trim, nicely spec'd, they should add the Hyundai i30 Sedan Hybrid Elite to their consideration list.